and coming back with points and everything. So this workshop will be mostly a free running workshop where I have a notes taker with me. I'll be showing whatever concepts I want to show via the notes I have and discussions what to do via the notes that we are having. The slide that will be shared to you is a placeholder, but I'll be sharing the materials and the hands-on demo and the codes that I've used to show most of the attacks that is there as well, and some parts of prevention as well if it is available. So with that in mind, let me share my screen. Where is it? Oh, yeah, I think this must be the one. Yes, this is the one. My screen is visible, correct? Uh,
Hmm?
note,
Visible, sir.
notepad file is visible, correct?
Fine, sir.
All right. Uh, Thank you, sir, for handing it over me and for the kind introduction. So, when this workshop is about image security and its image processing and its security, so I'll just put it as image security. So, whenever I say image security, first thing that comes to our mind, okay, is steganography. But image security is more than what steganography consider or steganography does. For example, if you consider what we call as offset techniques, where people take images and hide it and send it back. Say you are able to intercept the image via some cyber attack. Your motto would be to corrupt the image and probably send bad information. That is where most of the image security idea comes from. Also, one more question that image security brings into play as well is what we call as trusted platform computation security. Okay, so what I mean by trusted platform computation security is, say there are two parties, Alice and Bob. So Alice say uses some library with X with a version say 0.1. Bob also uses the same image processing library, the security library say X with version 0.1. Now, usually, if you see any crypto system or cryptographic model, we also have Mallory and Eve. Mallory is the cybersecurity person, and Eve is the attacker. So if you if you see, considering most of your processes and system are open source in nature, Eve will also have the same library with the same version. So if Alice is transmitting a message to Bob and say Eve is able to intercept that message, and Eve has a copy of message. Now say Eve is again transmitting this message to Bob. Now, how would actually Bob come to a conclusion that whatever message he was sent is the correct one? So this gives rise to the platform of trusted platforms, question of trusted platform security. Now, with that, I will proceed to one of the major attacks that is available in telecommunication system. So we call that we call that noise attacks. Someone, yeah, yes, sir. Tell me, sir. Yes, ma'am. Hello. I saw a hand is raised. Hello. Okay. Looks like it was a mistake. Good. Okay. Where was I? Yeah. So with that, I'll go to the next concept of noise attacks. Okay. So let me actually bring this over here. Okay. Now, if you see how I will be conducting this workshop is, I'm having a bunch of standard test images that is available from Stanford Imaging Library. This is mostly that is used. Some parts of it are outdated, especially Lena images that are available are fully outdated. But this is pretty good when you consider the things that you want to do, say evaluating these kind of things. So I'll open this piece of code. Let me actually, get my VS code up. 1 second. Okay. I think I opened the wrong VS Code window. One second. Sorry, process. Ah, now we have it. All right. I'll come to these images as well. Okay. Now, if you see, this is the demo that I'm willing to shoot, that I'm showing to you guys. Now, the main thing. Hello. Okay. Now the main thing is we'll be evaluating three types of noises. Okay. The So we'll be evaluating three types of noises. Okay. The first one will be your normal S&P, salt and pepper noise. We will be okay. The second one will be your Gaussian noise, Gaussian distribution noise, and the third one will be your speckle noise. Okay, professors, I have an open question to everyone who is over here. Can you tell me what is or how will you measure if your system is secure or not? Because security should be a measurable parameter for us to say we have achieved something, right? Can anyone tell me how would you measure a security parameter, especially consider image processing domain and cryptography domain? How would you measure that whatever you're doing is secure and doesn't have any correlation or causation with whatever your root processing is? Can anyone tell me what is the best way you can assure this? Okay, resisting brute force attack is a good thing. But consider this for a minute. You think in an actual cryptographic system, say with a 4096 key size, an attacker would try brute forcing it because me actually do. It will take him somewhere around 3 million years to even get your first bit of the key. We need some measurable metrics, correct? How would you get measurable metrics? Professors, please, someone give me some answer. Yeah, what is COC? Can I saw the message, but I can't see what COC is. Madam Ranugupta, madam, can you please tell me what COC is? Hmm. Coefficient of correlation is a good measure, but uh, is that a measure transferable across two machines? Because if your floating point instruction is different from machine A to machine B, your correlation will fail. Plus, most computers still don't like operating in floating point mode. I have not figured out why, though IEEE 1588 FP instructions it is there. That is a good one. COC correlation of correlation is a pretty good metric. But I need you to. Okay, I'll give you one hint. Okay, I want you guys to combine three areas of systems. One is your cybersecurity. Cybersecurity gets its security from, say, applying cryptographic protocols. Cryptography gets its metrics from. Anyone have a wild guess? Because this will be the very first course that we will make students to take when once they enter communications or a circuit branch field. If I it was actually the idea behind it was actually the brainchild of Claude Shannon. Anyone can correlate what Claude Shannon did to what cryptography is and how it can be applied to security? Okay, okay. So in order to say your system is pretty good secure, you will take cryptography and you will evaluate directly to information theory. So mainly the main measure will be your entropy Correct. The second measure will be your what? Excuse me, can you give me 1 minute? Something happened to me. Hello, hello. I'm sorry. Okay. So the main measure will be your entropy. The second measure will be what we call SIM. It's basically structural similarity. We do pixel by pixel level comparison and see how it is happening. And the third one will be your PSNR for most of the attacks. So we will take these three qualities. Okay. So once these three qualities have come into play, we need to understand how it will correlate with cryptography and how it will correlate with images. So now we have formed a basis on what metrics we will be looking when we are conducting a particular attack. Correct. Now let us go to the next step on how an attacker can or how we can do these attacks. Before I actually tell you how these three attacks can be done, I will talk about a little bit concepts in cryptography. Okay, uh, my my screen is visible, correct? Okay, yeah, because I can see my screen here as well. Okay, with that in mind, okay, if you can,
Sir, sorry for the interruption. If
yes,
possible, kindly can you zoom it, sir, little bit?
yeah, let me try to zoom it. I don't know why it is not possible. Maybe I'll put it to reading mode and I can zoom it. How do we put it to reading mode? Mm, I cannot zoom it. Let me try, sir, because no, I
Okay,
cannot
okay,
actually
sir.
zoom it.
You may
But
continue, sir. Yeah, I will try. Okay.
but okay, no worries. I think I can mark and I can show. Okay, I
Yeah,
think
okay,
that
okay, sir.
will be useful.
You can continue, sir. No issues. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So when we talk about cryptography, okay, before I'll go to noise attacks, I'll tell you what are the types of cryptography is there because it will be useful for us to connect to what type of cryptography will be useful to prevent against what noise attack. For that, we need to understand how cryptographic modes actually work. When we talk about a crypto system, okay, whenever I say cryptography, what is the first thing that comes to my mind? What are the two types of ciphering techniques that are there? Not what is given in the screen. On the base level of cryptography, there are two types of crypto systems. Correct? Can anyone tell me what those two types of crypto systems could be? Okay. The first type of crypto system is stream ciphers. Okay. Stream ciphers basically operate like this. You have, say, a bit stream. You operate. Sir, I have a lot of background noise suddenly. Now it's good. Now you operate this bit stream on top of a LFSR. Now you get the output of this LFSR and you put it to a crypto system. Now, before you put to this crypto system will have a key X that is XOR to the crypto system. LFSR bits are coming that will actually add it to the keys via XOR, and you'll be getting a cipher output. And here it will be plain text. Can anyone tell me immediately after looking at this crypto system what problem you will be having if it's a stream cipher? Okay, I'll give you one more hint. This key is 8 bits. The plain text is 10 bits. No one? Okay. The main problem when you consider a stream cipher, I'm not telling stream ciphers won't work for your image processing techniques. Stream ciphers will work for your image processing techniques. But the main problem when you consider stream cipher is this bit stream that is coming in. Yeah, key has 8 bits, but you think key is okay? I don't know who answered that question. I just saw it, but I'll ask a written question to that. Okay, okay, fine. Key has 8 bits, but you think key is the only thing that has pull over your entire crypto system? What about your incoming bits? It has 10 bits. Do we think that 10 bits is not exactly encodable or encryptable by 8 bits? I mean, I can, if you want, I can do a 2-bit padding over here as well. Now, will this 2-bit padding change whatever issue that is going to happen in the crypto system? My answer is no. If you guys have an alternative answer, again, why would it be? Why would it not be a problem? Would be the question. But coming to the problem, okay. First thing, the LFSR always gives you repeatable patterns. Now, say you are encrypting EFG. This EFG gives you a stream of XLP. Now, somewhere along your crypto system, you get EFG again in your system. This will again encrypt to XCP. Okay. Now, how much ever it doesn't matter you change this key size, doesn't matter you change this bit, doesn't matter you change this padding. Okay. You will always have the problem of predictable outputs. Okay, if you have predictable output, what a cryptanalysis guy will do is he will do frequency analysis. So say the more, does anyone have an idea what is the most occurring alphabet in the English language in any sentence? Correct. E has the highest preference, correct? So if say X is corresponding to E, then if he knows where F comes along in the line, he'll be able to reconstruct the plain text message without even actually going through the key. Correct. Now, this is one of the most seen crypto systems when you consider feed in, feed out, no starve system. Okay, but we don't consider this as full form of cryptography. This is stream ciphering. Okay. Now, another form of cryptography is there where we use both asymmetric symmetric forms and come out with block ciphering. Can anyone tell me what could be the difference between a stream cipher and a block cipher? Okay, no worries. So if you see, any job of a crypto system is to take your plain text, which is called as P, do a job of encryption on top of it, and give you ciphertext output. So ciphertext will be encrypted form of plain text. Correct. Most simplest representation in any cryptographic crypto system. Now, if you consider block cipher is when you take a particular bunch, okay, particular bunch, say 5 bits, 10 bits, 24 bits, and you make or make it a single block, and like this you make either replicatable blocks or new blocks, and you run them with your and you run them with your key. It gives you, it is basically called as block cipher. So how block cipher will actually work is, say you have a plain text of say 10 bits. Your key is 5 bits. What what block cipher will first do is it will take a 5-bit block. It will take another 5-bit block. It will have the key supplied to this 5-bit block. It will give plain text. It will give you cipher text. Again, uh, key, plain text, ciphertext. Now, if you notice, this will form the most simplest form of block cipher called as ECB mode. Okay, anyone who has worked in AES would have come across all these modes called as ECB, CBC, CTR, PFCB, OFB, all these modes. Okay, now let us come to this one. If you notice over here, if you notice over here, we are having a plain text input, a ciphertext output, and a key. Correct? This is what ECB mode basically talks about. Now, there is one more mode that is mostly used in many places. We call it a CBC mode. Okay. Now, CBC mode, you need something called as an IV or an initialization vector. Uh, Give me 1 minute. Let me see if I can get this. Okay, no worries. So in CBC mode, you again it works the same way. Okay, but say this is your block. You will be having an XOR map here. You will be having an IV. You will be having your plain text. Your ciphertext will come out. Okay, so that's what CBC mode basically means. But the main thing you need to consider about CBC mode is your ciphertext, right? That comes out of here will be taken as the initialization vector for the next block. Like this, the chain will keep on going, and you'll be getting a final component. Okay, now this is another crypto system. Now, what I want you to observe while I'm talking about all this crypto system is what will be the problem if something gets corrupted, or say a single block, say this particular block gets compromised. Sorry, or say this particular block. Oh my God. Consider this, okay. I want you guys to think like think from an attacker's or a crypto system builders or crypto analyst's perspective. Say what happens, say output of this block is corrupted. Say the output of this particular block is compromised, meaning the IV was compromised, the ciphertext was also compromised. Okay, now this is one more type of crypto system. Now the next type of crypto system that we will be looking before we go to noise attacks is there is this particular crypto system that everyone would have come across called as cipher feedback mode. Okay, the main difference between, if you consider this cipher blockchaining mode and cipher feedback mode, right? Here the initialization vector will be XORed over here. And if you see over here, the cipher text, the plain text will be XORed after the block, meaning the initialization vector will itself get encrypted once with the key, and it will come out. So whatever comes out of the initialization vector of the CFB mode in the first stage is always an encrypted text of your IV. You need to understand one major perspective here. Okay, when you consider a cipher feedback mode, your computational complexity is a touch bit high when you compare to CBC mode, due to the fact that your IV is pre-encrypted. Your data needs to work on top of the S box or your block ciphering box. Basically, it causes additional processing and TPD overheads. Okay, now another major mode that we will be considering over this one is counter or CTR mode. Okay, in counter or CTR mode, if you see, uh, they're again individual, correct? They're individual block sets. This is a one block, this is another block, this is another block. It will keep on go replicating. But the main difference between an electronic code book mode and a counter mode is instead of an initialization vector, okay, and counter mode will have two values. One what we call a nonce, another one what we call a counter. This counter is basically the CTR. Okay, this nonce and counter will be different for different block sets. Say you have to do 15 rounds of encryption. You will probably take the ciphertext and you will probably get a nonce for the particular ciphertext. You need to understand that this nonce that is generated is completely random, decided by the processor and its architecture that is available in your system. Okay, I'll stop here for a minute. You guys have any questions in the crypto systems and the crypto mechanisms and the crypto modes that we have talked about? Let's discuss that before I go to the next one. Hello, hello.
Sir, good evening. This is Kanimari.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, suppose we want to check our mail, means we are using one tool. I have warned that is whether my mail hacked or not. We have to check it, that tool. Same thing. Is there any tools we have to check our system, sir?
Madam,
Laptop or anything.
I fear I don't understand your question completely, madam. Can you be a bit more elaborate?
Suppose we have to check our mail whether any my mail is hacked or not. Any vulnerabilities are there. Means I am using one tool. I have warned. That way, I have to check my mail login credentials and all.
You're talking about am I hacked or not, right? An online
Yes, sir.
portal.
Yes, sir. Same thing. Whether I will have to check my laptop means any tools are available.
Any standard antivirus software will do that help if you are in Windows platform.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good. Anyone has any more specific questions on your on ciphertext and crypto mechanisms that we have discussed? Okay, good. Remember, guys, you need to look at how the cipher system or the ciphertext is built together. Now I will go back to our code. Okay, my VS Code window is visible. Correct. Okay. Let us consider. Let us now take a look at this particular component. Do I have? I think I have a terminal open. Correct. I'll first generate salt and pepper noise. Okay. Now you see these two values, correct? PSNR and SSIM. So this SNR should be as high, okay, like any communication system. Okay, can anyone tell me, okay, before I talk about this SNR of this particular component, I come from a predominantly signal processing and a little bit of this combinational background. Can anyone tell me what an image is before I actually explain what this is? Can anyone tell me what an image comprises of? Or how would a mathematical representation of an image look like? No? Okay, cool. See, any time domain signal is one dimensional variable. Okay. Your data will be moving across time. So if you consider traditional wireless signals or wireline signals can albeit be your x plus n or hx plus n equation, all those signals will have only one governing variable. Okay. It is a 1D signal. The main difference between a normal signal and what an image is simply a two-dimensional or a 2D signal. Okay. Whatever operations you're doing in one dimension, it is possible to do the same thing in two dimensions. Say you want to do autocorrelation. Instead of doing a 1D autocorrelation, you'll be doing a 2D autocorrelation. Simply, you'll take XX, XY, YX, and YY. YX and YY will be the most predominant components that you need to see when you are doing something in images. XX and XY you won't consider it much unless you're looking at quality, feasibility, and compression values of your images. With that in mind, okay, just like your traditional communication systems, SNR matters a lot. Okay, I'll open this current image. Okay, now I see SP. You guys see this image, correct? Can anyone? So basically, if you see, salt and pepper noise is basically like your salt and pepper that comes in your shaker. Okay, it randomly picks up some pixels. It either puts a salt noise, a white noise, a pepper noise, a black noise in that pixel. When you alter particular pixels in your system, okay, your structural similarity of the system will go down a lot. Hmm. But what you need to consider is if you run this image, say via EXIF tool or anything, okay, it won't show any of this. Now, if you okay, if you see my code, there'll be a function to add salt and pepper noise for me over here. Okay. Now I would have given a salt and pepper noise of say 1.1. I'll reduce it to 0.1, and I'll keep my pepper alone to the same value of 1.1. I'll show you because we need to understand how salt or pepper noise changes your and changes causes changes and behaviors in your system. Okay. Now I'll run this file. You see here, right? Your structural similarity did not change a lot. It was 0.47. Now it is 0.53. So it's a very bare minimum change. Okay. Now what I will do is I will go and change the pepper noise. Now you see here, right? Your image is almost similar to the original image. I'll open back the image if you guys want to. So this is the original image. It's in color. I had to change it to grayscale for this particular demo. And this is the original salt and pepper speckled image. If you see, now what I will do is I will keep now one experiment that everyone does when they're exploring this particular domain is right. They will keep the salt value as same. I'll go about changing the pepper value, say 3.01. You see here, right? Okay. Now let us do one thing. Let us tabulate whatever it is we have found. Okay. I'm sorry, 1 minute. So we have S and P, correct? S, P, S, S, I, M, P, S, and R. Okay. So I'll go back to my terminal. So the first value, yes, this is the first value. So here S was 1.1, P was also 1.1. My SSIM is 7, sorry. My, my SSIM is 0.4736 and my PSNR is 17.44, correct? Now let us consider the next one where my S was moved to zero point 0.1, my P was the same, and my SSIM was 0.5366, and my PSNR was 18.19. Now let us consider the last attack. Okay, where my S was 0.1, my P was 3.01, my SSIM is 0.2983, and my PSNR is 13.92. Okay. My screen is, this note screen is visible, right? Okay. Now tell me something. What it is you guys observe from this table? Hello? Hello? Can anyone tell me what you guys observe from this table immediately as soon as you guys see it? If anyone is talking, I cannot hear it. The data isn't right in front of us, guys. Come on, let's give it a shot together. Okay, I'll pose the questions in a different way than usual. Okay, now we are having a grayscale image, right? So we have how many channels in a grayscale image? Can anyone tell me? I'm not talking about whatever your file extension, how much channel that the particular file extension can have. In a grayscale image, how many channels could be there? Okay, fine, no worries. There will be two channels. It can either be black or white. It can either be 0 or 255 or any value in between. Okay. So now my question is, and if you consider a grayscale image, which will have most impact on the system? Will it be 0 or will it be 255? Because if you see this and if you see these two columns, you will get an attack on how you'll get an idea on how an attacker can perfectly perform salt and pepper noise attack on any image. Can you guys now come to the conclusion? If anyone of you wants to talk, please unmute yourself and talk because I'm in this screen and I won't be able to see the chat window very easily. Sir, it's okay if they unmute, right, sir? No one is here. Okay. Okay. I'll give you the guys the conclusion now. If you see it, okay, this particular component, your salt has very less contribution. You can see, right? Increasing or decreasing your salt noise doesn't contribute to much of SSIM or SNR variations. But on the other hand, if you see the pepper noise, which is basically 255 black, correct? It will give rise to most problems over here. Okay. Uh, you guys got the idea of this particular experiment, correct? Any questions with whatever data we are seeing on screen? I mean, I'll share this code with you guys. You can run and check as well. Maybe you guys won't get the same SSIM and PSNR value because the random number seed actually matters when you need to have consistency. I'm sorry, someone unmuted. Please talk. Okay, let's go to the next type of noise attack. Okay. Before that, I'll actually show you the SP image. You guys see it, right? Your salt, your pepper pixel has most contribution over the salt pixel because it is a grayscale image. Now you I'll give you this code, okay? You guys can ask yourself a real question. How will uh, S&P behave for color image? Okay, You guys can conduct this experiment yourself and see. Mainly to conduct this experiment, you'll probably need to you'll probably need to, where is that particular function that I wrote off? Ah, you'll probably need to change your values in the input. Yeah, you'll probably need to play around with this function. Okay, so this mainly I've done it for only grayscale because I had some scaling issues when going to color. I'm not that great of a coder that I was once was. Okay, now let's go to the next component. Okay, now what I need to do, I need to, let's play around, Gaussian image. Okay, same way. Gaussian, let's also do 3 experiments. So before I go there, what are the two controlling variables for a Gaussian function? Mean and variance, correct? So if you see, mean and variance are over here. Now what I will do is traditional model. I'll keep mean 0 and variance 1. I'll run one scenario right now. Let's start tabulating it as well. In Gaussian, we have mean 0, variance, SSIM, and PSNR in decibel. So mean 0, variance 1, mean 1, variance 1, mean 0, variance 1000. So this will be the values we'll be entering. Let's see how the system behaves now. So currently we have mean 0 and variance 1. Let us, run the code. Okay, now we are having how much? We're having a SSIM of 0.9898 and a PSNR of 48.11. If you actually go and change your mean, what is the second value? Mean 1 and variance 1, correct? Oh my God. I'll run this again. We have a PSNR of now a reduced one. 48.11, 45.13, 0.9899. If you see, we will see the one thing pretty soon. Okay, we'll keep the mean as same. We will move the variance by quite a bit and conduct the same attack. 18.12, 0.2935. Okay, now coming back to our notes. Okay, this is now visible. I hope so. Now, changing what value in your Gaussian distribution has most effect for your attack. Can you guys come to that conclusion? Okay, fine. Maybe it's pretty late for everyone over here. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Okay, now you consider this. Okay, our two variables here are these two, correct? Now the more your variance, the lesser your structural similarity is, the more your SNR. If you want to consider both of them on information, you see, right? They're almost on the same level, correct? We mean to say as Gaussian distribution goes high, we can easily recover data, whatever it is there. Though your image SNR is not degraded a lot, your structural similarity of the image is gone. Let me show you the latest generated image and its structural similarity. Okay, this is the original image. If and what is this? Yeah, this is my noisy image. Grantable and arguable that you can generate multiple values of the Gaussian distribution. You can layer it on top of the other, and you can try to recover data. But when you layer it one on top of the other, you lose pixel data very quickly and very easily. You will be having what we call as bit plane shadows. You won't be able to recover data completely. Now, coming to the last attack in our system, which is basically the speckle attack. Okay, I'll, where is my speckle? Yeah. So if you consider this is my speckle. Speckle is completely randomized. Okay, so whatever noise that is coming, whatever signal that is coming, everything that is everything is randomized. It is randomized by taking the image shape. So let us make 3 runs of this particular data. So this is my first run, this is my second run, and this is my third run. Okay, so we have speckle here, correct? Sorry. We have only one controlling variable here, noise, SSIM, PSNR in decibels. So we don't know the noise. We'll just name it as rand 1, rand 2, rand 3. Now, first attempt we had 1 point. Sorry, first attempt we had a SSIM of 0.0640. Then we had 0637, 0640, 0628. Then we'll be having 1.55, 1.61, and 1.57. Okay. Now, now that we have all the 3 experiments, can anyone tell me uh, which will, if you guys are the attacker, which attack will be having most effect on your particular image or target? Your idea is to completely destroy whatever data that has come to you. What will you do? Irrecoverable. You rewrite all LSB, all other partitions. What will you guys do? Which noise attack will be the suitable attack? SNP or Gaussian or speckle? No answers? Okay. I'll share you guys this PDF. You guys can find out the answer attack on your own. Which noise attack will have most effect? Okay. Let's keep this in mind. Now I'll go to the next component of our system. Now that we know what noise attacks are done, now let us look at a few outputs that we have generated from our AES or our cryptography runs. Okay, so this I would have done a CBC, CFBC, TR, EAX, ECB, and OFB mode. Now let us first look at. Remember, I told you image is basically two-dimensional in nature. So whatever operations you're doing, we'll simply do it for 2 dimensions. So if you see, I would have taken the original image. I would have gotten 2 things out of this: amp FFT, 2D FFT of amplitude and phase. Okay. Now, in order to know how much you are missing, okay, or how much your entropy has increased in a particular scenario, you'll basically be using the original FFT amplitude and your original FFT phase. Okay. Let us compare it with original, your particular output, and in between both. Now let me consider ECB mode, the very first mode. Okay. Let me actually, get more screen real estate here. Okay. What do you guys observe immediately in between these 2 pictures? Can you guys tell me? Between these 2 pictures, on your left hand side, there is your original image. On your right hand side, there is an encrypted image. What is that you observe? Immediately, right out of the bat, I see this is a problem, or I see this has become randomized. What is that you guys observe? Okay. If you consider your amplitude part of your FFT spectra, right? This originates from a singular point, goes outwards. Always remember this. Your center point in all this will be basically your DC bias. Okay. Just because you're operating in images, it doesn't mean that FFT is going to behave in a different way. Your center will always be your DC bias. Whatever comes out will be your will be your amplitude components. If you consider your amplitude of your original FFT image and your encrypted ECB image, if you see, we don't have these streaks anymore that is coming out. It is far more randomized. You guys can see, right? But it does have a problem. Let us compare that later. Now, if you consider the frequency, which is a very important component as well, again, if you see the same lines in frequency will also appear over here. You guys can see, right? These components will be occurring in your frequency. In ECB mode, you won't see that, but rather you'll be seeing this singular lines of patterned occurrence over here, over here, over here, and over here. Now, I will close this image. I will open one more image, okay, in CBC mode. Okay, wait back 1 minute. Okay, now tell me, out of when you consider your AES ECB mode and AES CBC mode, which is more random or which has more entropy? Can you guys come to the singular conclusion from this? Hello. Okay. We guys need to understand one thing, okay? ECB, if you remember, we will be just doing block output, block output, block output. We won't be feeding back, we won't be XORing, there will not be initialization, vector value, anything. So ECB's randomization values are far more lesser than what you can expect from other cryptographic modes. Okay. Now, if you, the same thing, let us keep this ECB here itself. Let us consider, CFB mode. You don't see much dissimilarities from CBC to CFB mode, correct? So what we need to come out of this is uh, what we need to come out of this is we need to understand that CFB mode or your ECB mode of AES is not exactly great. Okay, now there is one more question you guys can pose yourself and come back to an answer if needed. Okay. Now, the main question is, if a noise attack is happening, and say your noise attack is happening on top of an encrypted image, it doesn't matter. Your image is going to be pixels at the end of the day. You can create a PNG file out of your X and Y pixel values, you can get a data out. But the real thing is, which cryptographic mode will have the most effect out of all these things? You guys ask yourself this question when you guys are running this particular component. This is one more open question. Which crypto mode will be most robust? Okay, I'll share these source codes as well. Let's come back to last component of our guest lecture as of now. After that, I'll take questions if there is any questions. Okay. Okay. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between encryption and hashing? You guys can unmute yourself and talk if needed. Good one. Hashing is one way. But if hashing is one way, why some hashes are weak and it's recoverable? Hashing is one way is the correct answer. Whoever answered it right. Okay. Uh, yeah. Hashing output will be of fixed length is also a good answer. But uh, there are few hashes that come up that you guys will come across in the future, patented by big organizations where your hash length might change based upon the channel you're operating in. So someone answered ECB mode. Okay, it's a good one. I don't know why that answer came through. Okay, fine. I'll go to this particular one. This will be the last experiment we will be running before we move further. I'm sorry. Who answered? Someone answered. Okay. Yeah, hashing is one way, granted. But you need to understand the main difference between encryption and hashing. Okay. Um, Encryption can also be one way, by the way. If you don't want the other party to, intended party to see whatever data that is coming out of your system, encryption will become one way. Hashing is mainly used to ensure integrity. If you see, cybersecurity is three component triad, correct? Can anyone tell me what are the three triads and components of cybersecurity will be? Can anyone tell me what this triad means? Yeah. CIA is the correct answer. What is C, what is I, and what is CA? If it's two, okay, fine, good. CIA is the correct answer. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay. Now, these three components form the base metrics for any cyber valid system. Okay. Now, what we need to understand is when you consider hashing, out of the triad, which one does it solve? Can anyone tell me? Okay, if you okay, I'll give you one more hint. Okay, hashing and MAC or message authentication code are the same. Correct. Integrity is the triad that hashing mostly solves. If anyone has done forensics work over here, you will know getting a hash of the entire hard disk is more important than what is in the hard disk. Okay. Confidentiality is a cryptography problem. Integrity is both cryptography and a hashing problem. Availability is a problem of your scalability and redundancy. Okay. Now, with that in mind, I will come back to this experiment. Okay. This experiment will be organized pretty simply. Mm, I have two files over here where I'll be modifying one pixel and I will be verifying the hashing of that one particular pixel. Okay. Let me actually get the command. I have it here. Yeah. We are inside what folder? Yeah. Hash witness. Mm, oh, sorry. My bad. Oh, my screen is not visible. Wait, can everyone see my screen? Can everyone see my screen? Okay, cool. Okay. We want to do this now, correct? Let us modify one pixel. I'll give the source file name. Okay. Now, if you see, we have modified exactly one pixel. You guys can see, right? And we are operating in RGB mode over here. Now, this is my modified file name. Okay. Let's open that file in what is the file? It's in 19020, correct? It's in 19020. Okay. Can you guys see where exactly the one pixel is modified? I'll give you guys this image as well. Side by side, I'll put it. Do you guys see any modification? No. But here is where your hashing comes in. Okay. Let us compare the two hashes. If you see in the hashing integrity, I would have done three hashes. Okay. I would have done SHA-256, SHA-1, and MD5. There are strong hashes and weak hashes. The hashes, okay. The main idea behind this experiment is we need to understand which one will be a strong hash and which one will be a weak hash. Let me actually go back to my code. Where is my window? Where is my code? It's here. Okay. Now what I will do is let's compare it. Now, when you want to compare this, you need to know the previous file name as well. I did not take the file name. Oh, so what is it that you see? Can you guys see this result? What are the three hashing modes that we used? SHA-256, SHA-1, and MD5. Correct? Okay. Now tell me something. Why did SHA-1 and MD5 are a perfect match, but SHA-256 wasn't a perfect match? It's very simple on how SHA and SHA-256, SHA-1 and MD5 are put together. Uh, eh, why? It's pretty simple. If you see this, this, and this, you will get the answer. Remember, okay, I'll give you one more hint. Remember, in the beginning of this FDP, we talked about computational trust platforms. Again, comes under that. Okay, in a very simpler world, okay, the simplest answer for this one is MD5 and SHA are pretty small hashes. They don't take much information, much data, much channel information, much metadata from your target hash file and gives that as output. On the other hand, SHA-256 takes a lot of target data and metadata from your target file and gives you the long string output of say 256 or whatever amount of characters that you want. That is why if you consider SHA-256 as a pretty good hashing style when compared to MD5. The main idea behind what I wanted to showcase here is the weakness in hashing standards. Now I think I will stop my guest lecture here because these are other concepts that I mainly wanted to cover because this forms somewhat the basics on the future research that you guys wish to do. Now I'll stop here. If you guys have any questions, you guys can ask it. Sir, they can ask, right? Hello? Dr. Anil, sir, no questions then from anyone. See, guys, I understand. It's a Friday, it's 7 p.m. You guys would be trashed completely for the week's work. But come on, at least for my sake, ask one question now. I will feel bad today. I feel like I've not delivered properly. At least one question. You guys have anything you can ask. Otherwise, you guys want to know what all research that you can do on top of this as well. Okay, tell me something. Before we conclude this, how many of you guys know image processing libraries, not the ones that MATLAB gives you, or not the ones that comes shipped with Python? How many of you guys know what are image libraries that are out there? And how many of you guys know you can actually find vulnerabilities in image libraries? You guys, have you guys thought in that direction anymore, anytime before? I don't think so, correct. Okay. Let me find if I have the data. I mostly will not have the data. Someone is asking me to send the research areas. So I don't think I have your details for that. Let me actually check something before I go there. What is my Okay, I don't have it here. It's maybe I flashed a new operating system for this purpose. Okay, fine, no worries. Let's conclude right there. Before that, that open question. Okay, sir, Mohinder sir, sir, if you want to design our own crypto algorithm, then where can we start? So first, you need to decide what your cryptographic algorithm needs to do. Okay, what is the purpose of your cryptographic algorithm? Are you going to encrypt voice or data, or are you going to assure over the security, or are you going to assure computational trust platform security? Okay, uh, I wouldn't tell anyone to directly go design their crypto system. I mean, I wouldn't tell anyone to find the alternative for your AES right away, or your or any of the modes AES is operating in right away. Okay, but what you can do is you can do something called as multi-party trust computation. How AES can move from point one to point two. So if you design, first thing you need to come up with is a requirement for what you need to do, what problem I'm trying to solve. If you list that properly, then you need to decide what kind of encryption decryption sequences, we call them as S box. Okay, what kind of S box sequences are we going to go through? Now the algorithm that I have developed, say the S box where will be my most intellectual property is, uh, will that be qualified and quantifiable by a standard called as FIPS 180? Okay, it's the image, it's the cryptography standard that the United States government and Department of Defense in United States government provided. It's a worldwide standard. Will that actually adhere to whatever I'm developing? Will it adhere to the particular standards? If whatever you are doing answers all these questions and you're having green across your board, that means you've designed a good crypto system or a good crypto algorithm. Does that answer your question, sir? Okay, fine. I'll give you one more research area that you guys can maybe operate in. Okay. Uh, if you see WhatsApp, Facebook, everything, okay, always uses a bunch of image processing libraries. There is libjpeg, libjpeg turbo, libpng, libtiff, libwebp, all these libraries. Okay. Now, see, an attacker will not directly go and modify the image because there is trusted platform over there. Remember, I use the same library, you guys use the same library. If I have to compromise the image or the data that is coming into your system, my job will be to compromise the library that is actually doing this particular processing. There is this one very less explored area. If you see the amount of zero-day vulnerabilities that is coming out in the current day, most of them are MAC-based vulnerabilities. For example, libwebp had a Huffman table issue where you could do a buffer overflow on the Huffman table. Then libjpeg has this DCT filter bank for doing your JPEG data compression and decompression. That the DCT filter bank, if you actually modify the codes and your code flow properly, you can hit buffer overflows there. These are very less research areas when considering academia, if you see. Okay, but these are research areas that will give you actual solutions to questions that are answered like multi-party trusted competition and everything. That's all I wanted to say, please. Okay, sir, I am done, sir. Sir, I can't hear you if you're talking, sir.
Thank you for your valuable insights, sir.
Thank you so much for your time as well, sir.
Uh, Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Dr. Aditya Arun Kumar, thank you for delivering such a stimulating and discussion-driven session. the entire scope VIT-AP community and all participants truly value your input and expertise, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Aditya Arunkumar, sir. Our next session will start after a short 10 minutes break. Participants kindly take 10 minutes short break, and we'll be back by 7:23. Thank you all. Thank you. Sir, Aditya Arunkumar, sir.